Okay, now I think it's time to start with our boot camp. And welcome, team. Welcome all. A very good afternoon. Thank you all for joining, first of all. And so today's topic will be on JWT security implementation, and we will start with our new project, that is expense approvals management, expense management system, anything you can mention. And that project will be your medium level project where we will try to see the production level things, what is actually happening with the profiles, how admin uh, how user admin or the different profiles can able to access the screen, right? So we'll try to implement the security patches there as well. Before that, so this class is divided into two parts. The first thing is JWT security. So for the first project that we were working in the last class, if you all remember, we were discussing about the JWT, right? Where we have a good discussion over what is JWT signature, claims, payload. I think you all remember, correct? Yes or no? Anyone? You remember, right? Sunday, what we
Yes,
discussed?
yes, yes.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect. So, like how the Spring Security chain works and what is CSRF filter. So those things I think we have covered in the last class. Then how the next thing is what is stateless, what is stateful. Okay, so if it is done, then let's start with today's class. Let me quickly share my screen. Okay, so so the last class was all about the security theory, what we have discussed. If I open this notebook, so you were able to see, right, what are the things we were checking, or what is authentication controller, authentication management, user detail service, JWT service, then how we are calling this employee controller. So if you remember, I've shared this notepad as well as the code as well. So if I talk about this JWT that we are seeing today, because JWT is one of the major important thing that can be asked in your interview, and it is more, and the implementation is very much common for that. So JWT stand for the JSON Web Token. We have header, we have payload, we have signature. It start with EY, and the signature can be different. So header, payload, and we have the signature. Header is nothing; it's just like an algorithm. So like we have HS256 is the algorithm. Then payload consists of claims, and these claims can have the username of the user, expiry, or the roles. So this expiry is used when we want a timeout, right? I explained last time as well. I'm not going to explain in much, but for the timeout. Signature, if I have this HMAC, RSA signature, or header, payout, secret. So and that is utilized by your server. So that's why we have this signature. Okay, so so for today's class, we'll see about the JWT security implementation. I'm not going to explain, I mean, write the code cut to cut, but yes, I'll show you how this actually works. Okay, so if you all remember, if I will try to draw one line quickly over here, if I have this rectangle, and if I say HTTP colon hyphen slash localhost 8080, right? So what was happening at this point of time? So from there, the security patches will pass like this. This will be security. It will go towards next line, and your next line will be again your rectangle, right? So I'll quickly draw the rectangle. Yes, and we will write like security, Spring security filter chain, and I would say Spring security filter chain. Then the real gig start from here. So I'll quickly draw the elbow arrow. So yeah, say here. Yes. So I would say like we have an API path. Yeah, anyone having doubt, guys? Okay. So here we have the API path, right? So I would say two things that we were discussing in the first project, if you remember, like we were hitting about from the postman, right? This postman, when we were doing this post and the slash, when we were doing slash API, then slash auth slash login. So at that time, what was actually happening, guys? Like here, we will try to implement this JSON plus JWT token. I'll tell you how we will do it. Then what is happening, the next step will be, it will pass to our BRR token and we will copy paste it, simple. Copy and paste it. So this is the flow for this. If I will extend this. Yeah. Then second thing is, what is happening. So this is for the postman that we were trying to hit it. The next from this is, if I try to draw one more elbow array for this, uh, yes, it has another brother. So I'm just telling you how the JWT flow works inside your API postman or inside your browser path. Simple. So do not get confused for this. Yeah. So I would say here, I'll quickly write it. So this is my browser path. So I would say BROWSER. If you are in the browser path, if you have the Thymeleaf extension or something. So when we do get or slash login, so what is happening? We have this Thymeleaf, right? So I'll say Thymeleaf plus the session of this. I think yes, the last class I explained it. So Thymeleaf, and then it will go towards your session cookie, and it will stays in your browser. So if you try to explain this much thing in your interview, they will get to know, okay, you have a decent experience on your Spring Boot thing. Okay. So this is very important. That's why I'm drawing like this. This local host will call a Spring security filter chain. After that, we are using either, if we are using the browser path, so browser path will have a get. So it will call this or login, this slash or slash login. It will call this Thymeleaf plus session cookie will be there. It will stay in the browser. On the other hand, yeah, on the other hand, if you are using this API, that is using Postman. So this, if you'll do this, so you were remembering, right? We were giving the basic auth, right? So if I provide the basic auth with the username password, that's fine. It is acceptable. Second thing is, we can provide JSON plus JWT token. So this, it will fall towards your bearer token, and then it will ask about your. It will create the credentials from whatever the data you will provide, and then you can copy paste that particular bearer token, and boom, you are ready to use it. So this is the flow of your JWT, right? So right now, let's try to run the project. So if I have this, I'll open terminal. Yes, and if I say simple level Spring Boot run, okay. So now what is happening? Now we have up this server, will go towards this, and you will see if I say 8080. So right now my EMS login has been registered. Okay. Currently you can see the class demo has this password and your username. Okay. But the thing is, we will see how the actual JWT is gonna work. So once you open your guys, remember, and please listen, that once you open the URL localhost 8080 in the browser, this browser is getting post or get. First question, is your browsing getting post or get? Tell me quickly. I am inside this local host. So right now inside this, is it using post or will it use get?
Get.
Exactly, correct. Because here, if you're using this browser part, then definitely will have the get. So right now, it will go towards this. So security check, Spring Security is activated, and it will ask the first question towards your application, that is this user authenticated? So it will say no, right? Because there is no session cookie found, not authenticated. So security config will say that any request. So if I open quickly to our security configuration, we have, if you remember, we created the security configuration. So if you see here, line number 40, I explained it last time very clearly, like each and every session, what actually we were doing. So please check the earlier session. It is very important because security config is one of the major important thing in the interview, so that most people do not practice it, and then you know the result. So line number 40 is saying that if there is no session cookie found, call my security config any request dot authenticated, right? So if any request dot authenticated went there, so right now it's saying, okay, please authenticate the particular whoever the person who is not registered to this login page. Correct? Are you aligned with my thought? Yes or no? Are you aligned with my thought?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Then second thing is login page loads. This page has been loaded because we have this login.html. That's why it was loaded. Again, inside the security configurations, we have this dot request matcher slash login, this one slash login to permit all, right? So right now, if we are giving the permit all from this 45 and 47 number line, so it's saying that please return whatever the login.html you have it, right? If I quickly open the controller, yes. So page controller, this one, right? This one. So two things we have it. So home and login. So if I say login, so then yeah, if I say login, then what is happening? It is going towards the security config and it is giving you permission to please go towards whatever the template you have. So right now, if you have this login, so it will redirect to your Thymeleaf renders template that is login.html. So it will shows form email plus password field and my action is slash login. So if I quickly open again my login.html, so you will see what are the things we have added. It's a very small class, but you can able to understand. Okay, that is doc type. Perfect. We have this metadata UTF-8 EMS login. Okay, fine. We are using the minimum CSS for this. Class is we are want to display it as a card. So employee management is there. Yes, and in below that we have this HR portal code creators bootcamp. Yes, perfect. Invalid username, invalid password. So right now inside this time leaf, we have this if. So whatever the parameter you are passing, just simple check the condition whatever I have written. So we want to display some message, right? And so that you can see alert error, alert success. So if I say sign in, right? So if I say sign in and I say gmail.com, suppose, and if I say sign in, so right now I am getting this invalid username password. From where it is coming? It is coming for this. So whatever the parameter I am passing from this sign in, I am saying that if param has the error, please alert it. If not, then please make it as a success. Okay, while you log out, because login does not show any alert message. That's why we have added for the logout. Then the action start action is saying that whenever you say slash login, redirect to this method. Okay, fine. Provide your email and your password, right? And post placeholder we have given it HR at the rate code creators. If I remove this, you will see whatever the username password we are using over here. But this is not a production level, but for your placeholder, I am just telling you. When you click on submit, it will ask you for the sign in, right? Okay, it's fine. Sign in, it's clear. Time submit is there. So after that, what will happen, guys? When you click on this sign in, my login.html page is now over, right? Now the real gig starts. So then, when I say sign in, please remember when I say sign in, tell me what will be the form ID action. Will it be post slash login or get slash login at this step? Anyone? Are you getting my question? It is very deep thing which I am trying to tell you. No one is going to tell. So please try to focus and tell me whether it is right or wrong. It's fine. I can here to guide you. Tell me once I click like HR at assume like HR at the rate code I have added like this. Okay. And I say HR123. Correct. When I am clicking sign in, so assume if I open this, yeah. So if I click on this sign in and I'll show you the network if it is coming or source. Let me see if we are able to do it or not. Action required. Yeah, perfect. So if I'm telling you guys like please HR, right? HR123. So once I click sign in, so will the method is post or get? Just tell me a normal question. How many of you are listening? I need 3 to 4 thumbs up. Sanjay, Shubham, Hani, Nikhil. Okay. Again, guys, once anything you are trying to fetch it from the server, it will go towards our database or controller. So yes, that will be post. So you will fill the form and click sign in. Then from the browser, it will be a post. Always remember, those who have 4 to 5 years of experience, these are very common questions which often people make mistake in the interview. They does not know, they don't know what is post, what is get during the session. So once when the application is loading, that is get in the credential. The slash login, the slash login page was occurred, was visible. But after filling the credentials, when you will click on sign in, it will change from get to post. Then the real gig start. So right now, if I say HR at the rate code creators, that is form encoded that we have given. So Spring Security built-in username password authenticator filter intercept this, not our authentication control. This is Spring's uh, own filters. If I go to our code and if I search here, okay, username password. Let me search over here. User name. Once again, user. Where is the name is coming? Username, right? Okay, I think so. This is not coming over here. That's fine. But let me open this in security. I'll show you. I'll show you. Just I'm telling you. So right now, yeah, we were in security config. So this was the matcher and username. That's the it is there, but it is not loading. I don't know why. Okay, so username is there. Username is there. Yeah, this one. I got it. Okay, username password authentication filter. So what is happening? This is Spring Security user built-in. That is gonna check our username and password here. Here, guys, you can see in the cyber security filter chain that add filter before, and then you are calling this JWT auth filter username password. We have created this method for you all that is inside this Spring Security. Okay. Then what is happening? It will call our authentication manager. Right now, it will call our authentication management. The authentication manager dot it's gonna authenticate our username and password. Okay, then what is happening from this? Then after that, authentication manager will call user details dot load service. So it is calling this, and right now we have the role user details dot user details service. Correct. Then what is happening? It is load by username, so it's gonna load by username. So if I open line number 72, you will see here we have this user details service inside this. We are finding the user by hr at the rate codecreators.in. Password is password encoder. We are encoding this raw password at hr123. Okay, and this hr123 will stored as hash. Okay, it will stored as hash, and it will say that if whatever the password you are giving, that particular hashing is correct, then it will create the authenticated session. Else, it will throw you an error. Everyone are getting it? First thing. Clear or not? This file is clear, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So right now we have seen like what is actually working behind it. Okay, we haven't seen how the session is creating, right? So that's the first thing that we have seen towards it. So there are multiple steps. Path one, if we browser opens the localhost 8080, step one, it will go towards browser. Then it will check the things, whatever the credentials you are giving, either get or login. That is a mapping. Then you will click it and it will authenticate in the backend. Now the part two is Postman or API call, right? So if I do like this, if I go towards my Postman, let me search. It's been closed. 1 second. Yeah. Okay, so guys, if I say Control T and yes, obviously it will be post, and if I say HTTP localhost 8080 slash API, and this time it will be simple slash API slash login. Okay, from backend I'm trying to do a login. So slash API, and I think auth was also there. API slash auth slash login. Then what is happening inside the header? So I am inside the header, and content type is application JSON. That is fine. So if I say username and its value. So if I say HR at the rate code, two things I'm telling you, Credos.n, and your key, I think, yeah. And second thing is your password. Password, we'll say HR123. Okay. And so what is actually happening? You are setting your headers towards this, your HR and your password. If I say try to click on send, so it is now showing me unauthorized. Okay, that's fine. That is accepted. So what happened from the line number 38 of my code that we have written, this one, it is requesting the matcher. That is fine. We have given the permit or in auth controller. We have the auth controller. So this auth controller, okay, dot login. So basically we are trying to log in over here. So login we have, right, auth controller dot login, this method. So we'll reach towards this auth controller dot login, and from here what are we trying to tell? Authentication management dot authenticate whatever the username password you are trying to get it. So same bcrypt check as path one. So second thing what we can do over here, instead of using the header, we can go towards this, and we can, what we can do, tell me which step I need to select. Or inside the body. Second thing is inside the body, we can do raw. We can select applications or JSON, and a simple thing we can write username, this, copy, comma, password. I would say HR123. So if I send, now it will work exactly, and you are getting this time the token. So for the backend you are not going to get any token. Are you getting my point, everyone? Till now it is clear to all? Till now is it clear to all? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so right now for the UI I showed you, for the backend this particular token has been generated. Okay, HR at the rate codecreators.in HR123. I click on send, and yes, boom, my token got generated. So for production level, in demo, in dev, what you do, you create a token, you try to feed this particular token in your API, and you start working towards this. So this is the production level thing, not a normal, I would say, project. Now you are becoming a pro in security. Step was simple. Step was very simple. First thing, we say dot permit all. So slash API slash auth. If I go towards this, where is that? One second. Yeah, slash API slash auth. So whatever the things you are getting, please authenticate the user. That is permit all. Okay. Line number 32 is saying, line number 32. Okay. So line number 32 of this auth controller. Where is my auth controller? Yes, line number 32 of auth control is saying that whatever you are receiving from the path for the slash mapping slash login, do one thing, please authenticate it. Request dot username, request dot whatever the password you are giving it. Then the process is JWT is trying to build it. So inside the backend, this is your JWT s dot builder dot build. So it's gonna, so you have this subject. So you know what is happening in the backend. I'll just try to write it down. So I'll copy this code. Yeah, I'll copy this code, and I'll tell you what is actually happening. For this line, then we'll go towards your next line. Okay. So once you click on this hit button of the on the postman, once you click on this send button, what happened actually? So if I paste this code, yep, yeah. Huh. So what actually happening, what is understanding by your backend is, please generate the token. Okay, so if I open again, before that I'll open one more class. So I quickly go towards this. I have this service class. Okay. Inside the service, whatever I'm trying to write, you can see over here. It is very much important. It is very much important class. Okay. Because inside this auth controller, we are calling this authentication manager dot authenticate. Okay, then how it is authenticating? From here it is authenticating. So we have the JWT dot generate token. So we come towards this class. This class is very easy. Okay, we have the service. We have the service inside this, and we are saying that secret key and your expiry MS is your final. Whatever the secret key you are getting and whatever the value you are getting, please paste over here. This is the value annotation. Okay, then whatever the key you are just using this constructor and you are putting inside your secret dot get file. So you are setting as an UTF format. Then this is very important. So what is actually happening inside your this? So generate token. This username is hr at the rate codecados.in. So you have the subject hr.codecados.in. Issued at whatever the date you are. So today is I think the 4th of July. So today 4th of July, that is fine. Expiration, check this expiration. This is saying that whatever the expiration now, system dot current millisecond. So whatever the time, so right now the time is 4:31 plus 36000000 millisecond. Expiry second we are setting from this. Okay, means 1 hour from your application.yml file or somewhere where I want to set it. That is totally depends on the user. Okay, so we are setting it from the application.yml. That's why we have said at the rate value, at the rate value. Dot sign with your key. So whatever the key you are passing over here, you are passing this as a secret key. So right now, if I copy this and what understanding it is interpreting is this. Okay, so username. This username, yes, it is hr at the rate codecados.ck.in. Perfect. Issue date. What is the date today? 4th of July. Expiration is now. Whatever the now plus 1 hour window we have. So expiry millisecond we have set towards 3. What if you want to convert it? Then it was around 36 double zero triple zero millisecond. Okay, triple zero millisecond is your 1 hour. Okay, then dot sign with is your key, and this key will be signed with hmac hmac hyphen sha key. Okay, and it is dot compact, like whether it is compact or not, and it's gonna return it. So if I go there, and that is fine, it is returning JWTS dot builder. So it will return like EYJHB something something. So if I open the postman, you are saying EYJHB something something we are getting. Correct? Reason. So if we extracting this generate token, that is fine. Extract username, that is fine. So two things we have seen over here. Till now it is clear.
Yes.
Okay. So are you getting it, or that is the first time you are seeing it, or should I go inside the depth, or it is fine for now? Because this is the depth. I think so. You haven't gone this far, right? Right?
Yes, but we can go into depth. It is fine
Mm-hmm.
from my side.
Okay. Fine. Perfect. So yeah. So right now that was your first step of this. Okay. The response that we have that we are getting it. So I'll just quickly copy this response because this response I will use every time. So I copy this response. Okay. Perfect. Use the token on every API call. That's the second thing. So if I go back towards this and inside this header, right? Authorization where I need to write. I'll delete this. Authorization, and if I say JWT, and I will give this one secret key. Okay, this is my secret key. That is fine. So whatever I'm trying to do slash API slash login. So if I say because the data will be empty for sure, but let's see whether it's working or not. So if I want to use this, so slash API and slash employees, I think, yeah, this one, right? Slash employees, and if I try to send this, okay, so right now I'm getting unauthorized, right? I should not get because I have it. So what is the issue over here? Can anyone tell me? Because secret key I have added, but still it was not working. Why? Anyone? But generally, I don't know how, why it is not working. Tell me, guys, what happened? No idea. Why I'm getting unauthorized? Because the token has been generated. Then why I am getting? Okay. First, you check that, then I'll explain it. Do not worry. Tomorrow I'll explain it why it is not working. But yes, I'll share the code. Do not worry on this part. So what is now happening? Once we give the header, I'll go towards the header, and once we say that whatever the key you are trying to pass for this, okay. So what is now happening? Again, the JWT authentication filter dot do filter will read the header about the authorization. Header start with the bearer, and it will extract the token. So if I go towards the JWT again, it is saying that extract the username, right? So verify with key. Verify with key is nothing. It is just going to check with whatever the signature we have and dot get subject. Then what is actually happening after that? We'll call this user detail service dot load by username. So inside the authentication we have this, right? Security Java we have this user detail dot load by username. Somewhere we saw, right? Load by username. I'll show you one second. Just understand user detail service, whatever we have the user detail service, so it is loaded by our username, this one. Okay. Then second thing is whatever the username password authentication token, it will be role HR that we are provided over here. Then security context folder is a one folder where it is going to get the context. So now the request is now logged in for this thread only, so we have successfully created a thread. Okay, and after that it is going to authenticate whatever the things that we have. Okay, so if we'll go about this step by step again, what we did first, the request arrived, or we have the authentication controller, this one. Where is authentication controller? This is the authentication controller. It has this authenticate. So authentication manager is going to call the authenticate, and we are authenticating username, password authentication, username, password. That is line number 32. After that, this authentication manager delegates to user detail service. The user detail service is in security config line number 72. Okay, line number 72. That is user detail service. Okay. Then what is happening? We have this in-memory user detail, and I already explained you about this in-memory. So that's gonna hold our username and password. That is username and password. That is fine, and it is bcrypt stored as a hash value. Never plain text is gonna store it. For the password check, what we do, we have created bcrypt password encoder dot matches for the password code. Okay, and because we see check na bcrypt password encoder and dot matches whatever hr123 and dollar something, so what was stored, if match, then it is going to say you that you have been authenticated successfully. Regarding the token creation, go towards your JWT service.java. So I'll open my service, JWT service.java, and there at line number 26, we are trying to create a token for this. Okay, whatever the token, and it's going to give me. Using the token, we are getting it. So slash employee something. So if I go towards this header, right? Yes, authorization, and if I give bearer token, okay, and inside this token if I paste this and if I say send, so right now it is working. Okay, it should not be JWT bearer token sign JWT both, I mean bearer token we are giving when we are trying to create with the JWT. So you could see here we now are getting a response and you are getting 200 okay for me, guys. Okay, so what is happening when we click on this? So request enter into Spring filter chain. JWT authentication filter will do an internal filter. It will read your authorization header. If I go toward authorization, it has saying that we have a bearer token. After that, what happened? It's first call whatever the raw token string you have been provided. Okay, fine. For the token verification, we have the token verification load by username. Then it's going to load for this, like verify with key, build, pass the sign claim. After that, load user detail. So it will call the load user detail, whatever the user detail you have. So we have this user detail service dot load by username HR at the rate 430. So it will say that okay, already we are saying that whatever the thing we have, we are going to pass it on. Then it's going to give you the role as role hyphen under role hyphen HR. It is going to set the authentication inside the context of the Spring Boot application. So and you are getting a login. So this is all about how the JWT internally works. We have this JWT, we have this JWT authentication filter. So this class is also important. What is going to do for this class? This JWT, it is nothing. It's just like it's going to load the username. So it will extract the username inside the user detail service. It will also called whatever the we are passing. So this is the input you are passing. This is already the username we are expecting. Then inside the where we are just checking user, we are passing null and user dot get authorities. So what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? Anyone? I think I explained you. Anyone? No. So we are just setting. So for authentication of the username password authentication token, we are setting our credentials null and we are trying to get the user authorities. After that, we are setting the same detail. Okay. So we are setting this and we are setting the request. After that, we are going to get so whether this particular filter, whatever the token, is valid or not. That's why this is very important to check what is the thing. So token header will start with the 7 line. You just check whether it is correct or not. If it is correct, then fine. If not, then please throw the error. So catch I have just written as ignored. If there is invalid token, then you can provide this false. Okay, guys, clear, 100% clear.
I have one confusion.
Yeah.
I'm facing some issues between JWT token and bearer token. So, what
Okay.
is the difference between JWT token and bearer token? So, what I understand here is,
Hmm.
let's say a user try to log in for the first time. So
Okay.
when it hits the login API,
Hmm.
it first checks for the token, if the token already exists or not. If the token already exists, then it directly goes to the dashboard page. If token doesn't exist, then it will show the login page, right? Now,
Perfect.
uh, uh, now, uh, now the browser stores JWT token, and
Yes.
and on the Postman, uh, we defined a key, right? Secret key, right? Or
Hmm.
token, right? So when we try to get the employee list, when we try to execute employee API, right, it shows 401 login. But when
Hmm.
you select bearer type
Hmm.
and do the same thing, it works, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So
Great question.
I didn't understand on selecting bearer
Hmm.
type it works, but on JWT it didn't work. And browser stores JWT token, what I understand up till now.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So right now, what are we doing for this part? Okay. So that line that we are using JWT token and BRI token, perfect. I mean, the whatever the thing explained is correct. That line we are using both. And this is relating, but they are different thing. Okay. So for the JWT JSON Web Token, okay. So the format is look like I think I this one. EYJHB, something like this. It's going to be your token, right? So what is going to this line is saying that if I copy this, okay, and I'll paste over this one, yeah. So right now, whatever the things we have generated for the first time, this is nothing. This is your algorithm that we are using. Okay, this is my algorithm. That's the first thing. From this part till this part is your data, that your email hash, your role, and expiry that we have sent. Okay, this is the remaining part. I would say for right now, it is just proofs that nobody, not no one can tampered with it. Nobody tampered with it. That's the third data. Okay, tampered with it. So this is nothing. It is just your signature. Till now it's clear. Yes or no? Till now it's clear.
Yes,
So,
yes.
so the server can decode and verify it without hitting the database. For this signature is enough. That's the first thing. Bearer token means it is the transport scheme. Bearer token, always remember bearer. That's why I made the mistakes and I was expecting someone will ask this question. So bearer token is nothing. It is a common term is that it's the transport scheme. Transport scheme means that how you send the token in an HTTP header. How you will send the token where inside your HTTP header. That is the use of bearer token. And after that, what is happening? Bearer just means whoever holds this token get access. So it is a part of HTTP specification, and the server stripes the bearer prefix and read whatever comes after. Repeating again, bearer means whoever hold the particular bearer, this token get access, and it is a part of HTTP specification. The server stripes the bearer prefix and read whatever the data. So if I go towards the code and if I say that string token header dot substring 7, right now what is happening? That JWT. So how they are fitting together? First thing, if I say authorization bearer token, bearer just means I told you how they fit together. JWT equals to token itself. JWT is the token, the content plus proof. Bearer means how you carry it inside or in the HTTP header. So just think like JWT is your passport. JWT is your passport that has your identity plus expiry. Bearer scheme is nothing that we are showing the passport at the gate. So in the line, our line 171, whatever I showed you. So this is a authorization bearer means HTTP scheme telling the server I am sending a token, trust the holder, and EY something is the actual JWT. So yes, the EY something is part of the JWT. Bearer is just the envelope of the particular. Is it clear now?
Yes, it is clear.
Okay, perfect. Anyone has any more question on this? पूछ लो अभी जल्दी से. Take your time. I'm giving you 2 minutes of thing. Then I'll just explain about this JWT auth filter. Simple, and then we can close this. Take a 2 minutes of break, or what we can do. Okay, let's try to complete this. So if I go towards the code, no one asked about me that, sir, what is JWT auth filter? That is fine. Okay, service I explained. But what is the meaning of this dev open security config? No one told me and no one asked me what is this particular thing. Okay, so again, I'm explaining you why are we using this. Okay, if no one asked, that's fine. So the three files, if I pinpoint the three files, that's the dev open security config, your JWT filter, and the last one is security config. These three, again focus guys, again focus. I will only take 5 minutes, then we can have 2 minutes of break. Dev open security config, JWT authentication filter, and security config are three important files. The relationship is something it will check whether the particular dev open active or not. If not, then it is all open. Anything else like security config is gonna load. So here this class being order the zero security filter is changed, showing that if whatever the things are getting permit all and mark this CSRF as disabled. So it's saying that okay, it's saying that the relationship is simple that dev open whatever the profile if I am a profile of something assume production or pre-production. But right now dev open. So dev open is there, then it will open only dev open security configurations is gonna load it. Okay. So no authentication, all open. But in production, like we have default H2 MySQL something. So then security configuration will load according to the production. Okay. So that is the first thing. Okay. So that's why we have mentioned at the rate profile dev open each file job. So if I go towards the security, I told you about this very much key, the profile. If I go towards it, this is not profile is not our development. Means we are now working inside our production. So that's why we are connected this JWT. So what happened if it is not there, then dev open is not active. So it will create the JWT authenticator auth filter bean. Rules will be applied. Decrypt authentication memory and whatever the HR user is there is gonna apply towards your JWT auth filter.java, the actual JWT reader will start. So it we have this string header. Okay, I told you right, string header. So authorization, but whatever I was passing inside this postman type bearer token, right, and token. So it means like we are passing the header, it will read the bearer token. We have this token equals to header or substring means we are stripping the bearer bearer. Okay, then JWT service means we are going to decode this JWT. I explained you security context holder. This one, this is basically like pass the request through security context holder, and it does not block or allow. It just identify who is making the request. So the security config rules then decide allow or deny. Dev open security config is the basically the debug bypass only for profile dev open. Okay, so line by line means we have the configurations. Okay, context is going to tell that yeah, I need to load it. Profile is dev open, that is fine. Order zero. Okay, this order zero is nothing. It's going to beat the security configuration and wins it. So we have this order zero. We have dot any request that no authentication needed. Everything is open. So geosecurity used only to test endpoint without worrying about the token. That's why we have mentioned it dev open. So this is your production level file for the security. Clear everyone? 100% security is confirmed.
I have one
Huh.
question.
Okay.
Where we define that I'm in a dev open mode, how do we define that?
Okay. So again, what we can do inside this application.yml, we can mention it right for the profile.
Yes.
So how we will how we will do it? You tell me.
Uh, we need to. I think we need to add field and that value dev open, and when we execute our project, it will automatically will be in dev mode, and it will escapes some security things, right? That's what I understand here.
Okay, correct, correct. So dev open. So I'll tell you. So dev open security config is nothing. If I just want to test all the endpoints, so I will make set my profile as dev open. Okay, and if not, then I'll say that please test it. So if I say dev open, so don't go towards it. That's why my order is zero, right? Order is zero. And if I say that dev open, so you will see here it is not dev open. That's why it is hitting this profile. So if I run the Spring Boot application, order will be first it will hit this dev open security config. If it feels like inside the profile from where it is coming, so actually it is coming from our application.yml. If I'll go towards your application.yml and I quickly say that Spring application management and profiles, right? So if I say where I can set Mm, I think we have it right. This profile, let's do config. अभी केवल इतना समझ लो कि like we can just profile active, right? So we have this profile that is active on this. So change, and we can change this to switch the profile. So if I say active dev open comma h2, assume like this. So we have now as a multiple profile. So if I set this and if I rerun the application, let me rerun it. So I'll show you. 1 second. Okay. Um, yes. So let's assume if I don't give no auth and if I give send. So okay, I'm getting a 4 okay. Let me see. Let me check. Issue for this login. Guys, can you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know what is yeah. So I'll just tell you, and I'll just try to fix it. So first is then authentication controller, and we have dev security. So order is saying that if you have set the profile is dev hyphen open, so I'll click this and I will everything will mark inactive JWT auth filter service and security filter. But if I say that inside my application.yml that you have not a dev open, then only this security config will load. So you can see this order one, and then all the other JWT authentication will start. So let me see whether I can make changes. That's why I hate the YML. So just try to we can do one thing. Uh, uh, okay, like this. Okay, and then inside our dialect, what we can do. So, so yes, the Spring and config activate on profile, and this time my on profile will be your dev open. I got it. Now last time let's rerun it and see if it is working. Use this one terminal, new terminal. Yeah. Alright, I have written it, no? Alright, I have written it, right? You saw, right? I have written it.
Yes.
Where did it vanish, man? Spring. No, 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 no. Spring. Then we have your config. Yes, activate and on profile, and I'll say dev open. Simple. Okay, let's try. If not working, then we can move on. Okay, again, we have this profile. Okay. Fine. So Azure console started. Let me see what user profile it is getting. The table security local initialize with the default. Okay. Profile. The following one profile is active. That is H2. Okay. 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 1 second. 1 second. I say profile dev open. Let me see. I think so. It is. It should work now. Yes, I think it should work. I'm so sorry. I think I forgot to check it. We already written, right? And still again I was writing. That's why it was removing it. So when I check inside this, okay, it's fine. Right now the port is already on this now. So let me kill this and try again. Last time I'm trying, guys. Sorry for the delay. Okay, all set. It's time to test it. So this time our profile should be okay. I'm getting frustrated. Hmm. I mean, just understand it, okay? I'll just fix it and see if it is not why it is not working, but it's fine. It should be, it will come here and we can set the profile. I don't know what is happening. See, it is taking it to changing again to H2. So there is some issue. Okay, Shon, we are getting the context, right? From where we can change it. Clear, na?
Yes, yes, I
Yeah, I'll just,
understood.
yeah, yeah. From here, I don't know why it is overriding the concepts of this. Spring profile active, I don't know. I open dev open and profile dev open. Okay, so let's take a 5 minute of break. Then we can start with our new project. And yes, we are on the track, and the medium level project will be started. So just take 5 minutes of break. The time is 5 2. We can connect at 5 7. And right now you can see, I think the still the profile got changed or not. You control profile. Okay, it's still extra. Okay, let it go. Fine. So let's take a break, and then we can connect at 5 7 sharp. Okay.
A doubt I'm having.
Okay, tell me.
So when we put dev open,
Hmm.
so this one as dev open,
Hmm.
then we do not need to authenticate. We can directly access the APIs that
Yes,
you're saying, right? Okay.
exactly.
Okay, so
That's why
let's
we.
say
Hmm.
I'm having a doubt. So let's say we have in the real world also we have
Hmm.
APIs where we do not need to have the secure authentication or anything.
Yes.
We can go and visit and watch
Hmm.
let's say in e-commerce application we can see the products and all.
Hmm.
But when we want to order something, we log in. So those are secured APIs, and these are
Hmm.
not secured APIs. Now, in
Yes.
this case, if we want to do some of our APIs are secured and some of our APIs are not secured, how we can do
Hmm.
that?
So it's simple, right? So you can see here inside. So what is happening if I say dev open, all things are permitted. Okay. What
Hmm.
we can do from the security config, we can copy the security filter chain, right? So what we are saying that whatever your API slash cart or slash login, whatever the things you are trying to purchase, just ask for authenticated, or you just say that do not permit all. You need authenticator. The same command of chain you can just copy and you can make the changes toward this dev open. So even though the particular things are allowed for the dev, but you want the credentials to be get login, so you can make changes towards this HTTP. So right now, this any request will change to dot request match pattern, patch this one request matches, and then it will ask like this should be authenticated. Simple, and you will get it authenticated. You can just try to write this either a normal user detail service to encode it for the local, or you can utilize the JWT.
Okay,
Is
so
it
we
clear?
have to
Hmm.
configure.
Yes.
In the request matcher, we have to
Yes.
explicitly add that these are the not secured
Correct.
APIs and these are the secured APIs.
Correct. Exactly. So everywhere, that's why you have the security filter chain, so that it's going to take care of every API who user can access without authentication, or what are the APIs that should be authenticated prior to getting to versus. So this is the
So
main thing I would say. Hmm.
So to add those non-secure
Hmm.
APIs, we will be adding those in the so in so I mean
They're
so
open here.
here. So if we put it as dev open, all the APIs are now not non-secured. You can simply access it. So if
Yes.
we making combination of it, we will be mentioning whatever the secured APIs over here, that these
Mm.
required authentication.
Correct.
In
Exactly.
the dev open, in the dev open security config, we'll put
Mm.
whatever the secured APIs, we will mention those APIs over here, right?
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, so
Yeah.
my question comes here.
Mm.
Then why we need this security config then? So we'll put all the APIs over here, right?
So there are two things, right? This order zero and security config is order one, right? So now just simply understand inside this dev open security config, it is bypassing all the security rule. Then it will call my security config. Inside the security config, we are using our JWT. Till now it's clear, yes or no?
Hmm.
Okay. So next time what is happening for logging, for the login purpose, here we have clearly mentioned like auth slash login or something. It's fine. If we have this authentication, so dot permit all for the first time. Okay. After that, whatever slash API slash star you want, you need to authenticate it. First thing is you need to authenticate whatever the slash API after slash employee something you need authentication. So then the real JWT process starts. If you want the same thing to be used in the dev open, like some profile should be open or some profile should be the same thing you're trying to do here as well. Security config. Assume like you have another profile like UAT open. Assume you are in the UAT and you want you just want a login that's going to generate, that should not generate a JWT, that will generate my hard coded. So instead of writing the security config like this and this, you can simply say username password and just you will call this in memory username and you are saying that if it is matching with this, it is done. That's the use of every profile based authentication. So here this is not a normal security config. This is for the dev profile. This is for the production profile. If you have a UAT, you can add this UAT open security config and make change profile from the application.yml. Here.
Okay, maybe I'll implement and I'll check like whatever I'm trying to do. Then I might get more
Okay,
clarity.
so you can ask tomorrow, no problem. Yeah, before we start with the class, you can ask tomorrow. Okay. Oh, guys, just give me 2 minutes. I'll quickly go, and then we can start with the new topic. Okay, so let's start with our new project from today. And before starting, we'll just try to see what are the things we are going to build and what are the tech stack you will learn. Okay, 1 second. Yeah. So yes, guys. So here, what are we building? So for the big idea, and this is again your production level thing. This is a medium level project. We are building an expense approval system. Expense approval system, a REST API that digitizes the real world flow. We'll see if we can integrate the Thymeleaf, but initially we are focusing on our Spring Boot with AI. So we will just see API. All mostly it will be 100% will be an API thing. But if time allows, I'll try to integrate with the Thymeleaf and make it as a production ready. But might be if time does not allow, so you all can do it. So what is happening? The employer submits a work expense. So actually, if I say you internal word or wording of this, so the thing is like employee. If I am an employee, what I am do, I went to a visa and I will say that after coming, I need to submit my expenses. So if I say employer submit expense, okay, then what will happen? Manager, my manager is going to review. So manager reviews. Okay. After manager reviews, what will happen? Management can manager this manager can do two things, that is approve or reject. Okay. Then what is happening here? My AI is going to come to check. So AI silently checks. AI silently checks what is going to check for fraud, and auto categorizes in the background. Okay. Till now it is clear, guys. 100%. What are we going to build? Employer will submit a work expenses. The manager review, approve, reject. AI currently going to check for fraud and auto categorizes in the background. Okay. Is this project classy? I mean, can we do it for production level? What do you think?
Yes, it is good. Uh,
Oh,
we can make it like a enterprise level kind of a project, right?
yeah,
Yes.
that will be our third project. Okay. That enterprise project we have it, and I'm working on it. It's almost over. So yes, that is also going to come in the third project. So if I'll talk about the roles, okay, the first role, okay, it is very bad. Yeah. If I talk about the role, so the role is very easy. First thing is employee. So this employee is need two things, that is for your submit expenses and pray to God like manager should approve it. So submit expenses, view on submission, whatever the things. So view on submission he can also see its own submission. Second thing is your manager. Manager, yeah, manager has two things again. It's going to see the queue, see pending queue, and approve, reject, get AI summary. And the third one is admin. So this admin has everything. It's going to check all the expenses because not all people have the same manager. That's why we are separating. So it is just we are following the system design part a little bit as well. So admin can see all the expenses. It can get data from your date range summary. So three roles, one app, role-based access on every endpoint. If we need to check about your domain model, so it's very easy. So I'll quickly create here a box. Yeah, this can be your domain model, and if I write this, I'll say domain model, and this domain model has multiple things. So if I call you about the application user hierarchy is very simple. So this application user has ID. It will be your email will be your unique. Password will be again your bcrypt. We will try to use our JWT favorite thing, bcrypt. Then we'll say a full name. Full name. Second thing we are going to check is, yeah, role. So either you are role employee or what? So either role employee, manager, or you are an admin. So that will be your role. So role should be in your capital. Okay. Then after that we have expense. So expenses can be of multiple types. So expenses for this I'll say ID, title, description. Then we can have amount, and if you see, we can give whatever the expense date. So when you travel with something, you can give it inside your ID, inside the expense data. Second thing, we have the status. So status will be again three: pending to approve or pending to reject. There will be two things, okay? Pending to approve or pending to reject. If I talk about the category, then inside this category, I can have multiple things. So I would say travel, I can say food, I can say software, any equipment you have purchased for your office work, software, then you have equipment, equipment, other, and it's going to set by whom? This will be set by your, one second. Yeah. This will be set by your whom? To by your AI. Okay, we'll see how we're going to set it. It's going to be very crazy if we'll use this AI. Submitted. Submitted by, that will be your app user. Yeah, app user. Okay. This app user can have many to one relationship, and I'll explain you why. But before that, when we will start coding, you should have a knowledge towards this. Many to one, then submitted, reviewed by, yeah, submitted is done. So reviewed by, and this review will be done by your manager. So app user, and it will be many to one. Okay. And then we have this, if someone rejects it, so I'll say rejection reason. Rejection reason, and inside the rejection reason, I'll say it can be nullable. Nullable, that's fine thing. Then we can have AI fraud flags. If something happen inside this, I would say AI fraud flags. So AI fraud flags is going to see. So it can be nullable. So I will say nullable, and I'll say it's going to set by your AI. So and like duplicate amount. If someone is sending the duplicate amount to my, it, I can use my AI on the duplicate amount, or I can say if the policy exceeds, like the policy saying that you can enroll for 1 lakh rupees, but you are exceeding the policy, you are doing it for 3 lakh, 4 lakh, or there is some suspicious transaction, suspicious description if something is there. And the last one is your AI processed at and when this one is created. So this is your domain model that's going to look it. So guys, what do you think? This is fine?
This is good. The use cases are very good.
Okay. So you can use this in your resume if we try to build this.
Yes, yes.
Okay, then it's fine. Suspicious, I would say description, na? Transaction, not so description, I would write. So it will be. So this is your domain model. So why my direct motive is to write everything, because if you are inside your system design, and those who are watching on YouTube or this live meeting or recorded meeting, the meaning is for the things, guys. What is happening? We as a developer directly start with the things that we take the ownership, but you should be confident enough. You should be confident enough to describe the things. That's why system design comes into the picture. Like how much you are capable of explaining the system. Most of the folks are unable to explain. That's why they are not going to get a good package and they are not getting the good package. My motive was that do not directly start with the thing. First, try to see what actually our domain model, what are we building, rather than directly starting with the things. So first thing in the system design come as a domain model. Like what will be the domain you are trying to build it for the particular application. Once you say that okay, we have the application user, we have the expenses for, and this expenses has this and that, then only you can start with the current flow. Like okay, now I have the complete picture. So with this diagram I know like I can write id, role, employee. This can be, so this can be your enum, that is fine. id, email id, so this email can be unique, right? Then password is encrypted, so now I can use the JWT and full name of the employee I can give it. No need of phone number or something. Then inside the expense, that is very much important because user is one, expenses can be multiple things, right? So this expenses id, status, category. Again, category can be flexible. We can add or remove the category. Submitted by, reviewed by, rejection reason. So AI fraud. So why are we using AI? So this thing is very important. So you need to see every detail inside your domain model. Then if you are confident enough, your requirement is clear, so you will start working. So as a software, there are those who have 3 to 5 years experience, if you can able to explain this domain model cut to cut, like how it is working, what is unique, you are on a right track. Perfect. So just give me 2 minutes. I'm getting on call. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. So the code wise we will start from tomorrow. Do not worry, but we will just see what are we trying to build over here. So domain model is done, and we will have multiple APIs. Okay. So the APIs is will be like, I will write the API model. So 1 second. Yeah. API API surface. I will say that API surface. Okay. So this API surface has multiple things. So I'll again try to draw a rectangle. Okay. And then we'll try to write something. So it's very easy. API service, I can have multiple things. Let me draw a line for this. Whether it is put post patch. So I'll put a line for this. Right. Control C, Control V. Yeah, please go on mute. So those who have joined right now. Okay. And again a single line. Let me increase this as well. Okay. So my bad. If something is not right, just try to understand whatever I'm trying to tell it here. Yeah. And yeah. So API surface is nothing, guys. It's just like what API we are trying to do and why. Again, a new thing is start this API service and how in the system design you are going to tell. So we have multiple methods. So the first method, assume like if I say that method, okay, then we can have your path, like what path you are trying to build. The third thing is who can access, and the fourth thing is what is that. That's the first four thing. If you can able to identify inside your application what you are trying to build, you are a good developer already. You don't need to uh, care about anything else. So method, path, who, want are the four things that I need to identify. Okay, so let's start now. So the first is post. If I say post uh, slash API slash auth slash login. So what will happen for this line? What is the meaning of this? For this who will access? Who will access this one, folks? I'm asking.
Everyone.
Exactly. Anyone can access. And what is this? Get. the JWT token, yes or no?
Yes.
Perfect. Second thing, again, we have this post. And now this post I can give slash API slash expenses. Okay, then what does happen for the expenses? Who can access this expenses?
Users.
User. Exactly. That is your employee, right? And it will be like slash employee slash expenses is basically submit karo or your new expenses. Perfect. The third one is now the get. So if I say get and I say that slash API, then your slash expenses slash mine. Then who can access this?
Employee only.
Employee. If we have the multiple expenses, I want to see one, so I'll say mine. So it's going to list my own expense. So list my own expense. Perfect. Then we have patch. So we will use all the rest thing as well. So if I say slash patch or before patch, what we can do, mm, I would say another get. Okay, another get, and another get can have slash API slash expenses slash pending. Now tell me this one slash pending. Pending, guys, pending.
Manager.
Exactly. Awesome. Manager, and this manager is going to see all your all pending expenses. Okay. Then we will use patch. So patch, if I say slash API slash expenses, okay, slash API slash expenses, then ID, whatever the ID slash approve. Okay, so who we can do with this? Manager, approve, manager, reject manager,
Yes.
right? So approve manager, approve. Patch again, slash API slash reject. This is again your manager. Okay. Then let me freeze this one second. Oh my god. Okay.
Uh, I'm having a doubt here.
Now tell me. Why are you using patch?
No, so it's like overall, like so. Anyhow, right? We implement all these
Hmm.
APIs. We only give API to the employee that just to create your
Hmm.
expense. That API we give, and a get one where you'll get all the expenses that you have already recorded.
Yeah.
In that only we can put a this, what we call this, I forgot, it's filter kind of thing, where you can
Approve it.
filter out pending, approved, or
Hmm.
something like that. Now, after writing the expenses, what
Hmm.
the changing the status of an expense is only by manager, right? Like approving or
Yes.
rejecting it, and that
Yes.
will implement it as a different API. All right.
Yes. Exactly. So
So
slash API.
we will not expose that API to this like employee, right? So, I mean, do we really need to have this role kind of thing? Because in the UI, though, we won't be exposing that. User won't be able to go to that screen where we call this right, a right access API to update the expense. So,
Hmm.
do we actually need to have the roles?
So see, roles is what is actually happening. Assume like in a hierarchy, you are a normal employee, then you have your manager, and you are working. There is a one owner. So if one owner can like one many managers can report to one owner of the company. So one manager can have yeah one manager can have multiple students. So what is now happening? If the owner wants to see a particular table detail of any employee, so he can access as a role of admin. So admin can see every manager's credentials or the student, but manager can only see its own hierarchy thing, right? That's why role base is very important for any production level data. Getting my point?
Okay. So when we are updating, right? So do we
Mm.
uh, check the relation, when we are updating this XYZ?
Yes. I mean, see, this is again, the that thing is again like if we are creating a new employee, so assume like we have, if I would say like this, if I am an admin, okay, and you have XYZ manager, this is my manager, okay, and this is my MNO, that is also a manager, okay. Another folks is coming, and when something is coming, I am aligning ABC to this, EFG to this, then XYM, XYL, XYZ. So right now, if I want to see the expenses, so this XYZ cannot, should not see this expense thing, right? Or cross, vice versa. He can visit this, he can visit this. Admin can visit everyone, right? He can have access to all dot authenticated dot all. So if you are logged in as an admin, so there should not be any restrictions or request pass meter for your admin or something. Are you getting my point? That's why role base is very important for your production scenario.
Okay, so then
Mm.
this makes sense. So then
Yes.
the role, so see,
Mm.
the XYZ cannot
Okay.
access the employees under MNO, right? So then the
Exactly.
roles, do we need to also put the relation, department wise, right? I guess then.
Yes,
Uh,
exactly. So
yes,
yes.
yes,
So
yes.
whatever the role will come, you need to give a set of instruction for this. Like XYZ can only create it. He can't see another one. So once you log in with XYZ, XYZ will the data from the database. It will load with that particular request ID, right? If you are an admin, admin can load dot all, simple dot all from your repository. This manager inside has two-person ABC XYZ. So for him as well, it will load. First thing we can have this join check. So join check will say that where your manager equals to this and XYL, then only give the details to this. So this is very, I mean, easy but confusing in the logic while we build, but everything is possible in this world, so we can do. That's why the role based, I initially thought to give it as two, like employee manager, but the view or admin is one of the important thing still in the production, so that multiple things that admin can do, managers can't do. But managers things, management things a manager do, admin can also do. That's why we have divided into three roles. Clear? Make sense?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
So, I
perfect.
mean, this is not a doubt. So, this is just as a discussion. So,
Hmm.
when we fetch, right, like for a particular user, do
Hmm.
we filter him as via brand? Sorry, department wise, or or otherwise, for every user, we will also maintain a his manager field. So, how are we planning?
What do you think now? What do you think? What would be the good thing? Where the database and Hibernate query will be less. So what do you think? What will be the best thing?
I think department wise should be
Uh,
better. I feel
Department
instead
wise
of
or manager? Because
instead
see
of for
again.
every user storing
Hmm.
his manager name,
Okay,
department
Azim,
wise I feel.
great question. So if I say admin, okay, this admin has two separate departments. One thing is inside the HR and one thing is inside the engineers. Okay. Now inside this engineer hierarchy, there he has two managers. Okay. One is Ram and second is Shyam. So if you say that, you will do a hierarchy check on the engineer side. So if Ram has A, B, C, D student and Shyam has E, F, G, H, if you make check on your department wise, then every this Ram can you write this EFGH, yes or no, or Sham can see the CD, right? But if you make a check on this on your manager voice, okay, like every A, B, C, D has your manager, so that manager can access to this, correct? So for employee, many employee has one manager, correct? So can we do that check? What do you think? Which will be more suitable?
So you're saying will for each user will store their
Manager,
manager name,
exactly. That will be
not
beneficial.
department, but manager.
Not department. Yes,
Okay.
because department can have multiple managers. Like HR can have multiple HRs. Like one is for the technical HR, one is for your HRBP, and another is for your recruitment HR. So if you make check on your HR department, so every HR now can see the different expenses. That is again strict of the policy, correct? So that's why just think on this part, like how your architecture went. Always try to write an example or just like I explained, just think from that part. But that's a great question and discussion is very good. How many years of experience you have?
So I have like around 5 years of experience, but
Okay,
my background is of Node.js backend developer.
okay.
Uh,
Node.js, yeah, it's great. Node.js is also I'm learning. Fine, fine. Sure. So if I go towards this and we'll just close this, whatever we are trying to do, from tomorrow, the real implementation with new ideas will start. So if I say get slash API, where is that? Yeah. So if I say slash API slash expenses, then who can access? If I say slash API slash expenses, okay, post slash API slash expenses. Get slash API slash expenses. Think from your architecture brain and see who can access. Both endpoints, same endpoint. This one is post and this one is get. Who can access? Tell me, please.
I mean, user should also able to access, and manager should also able to
But
access.
no, but user is accessing here slash mine.
Okay, so user by user ID. So this should be by manager only access. They should be able to manage by.
Expenses should be visible by admin only. What do you think? Because already user slash pending slash approve slash reject is checking by the manager.
But then for manager
Hmm.
also we need to have the expenses one, right? Because we are
Okay,
only fetching the pending one only or rejected or approved, but we should also have the overall
perfect.
request that he got.
Exactly, perfect. So admin and manager should access list of expenses, right? So don't you think do we need to create another API for admin? Because now if I say slash expenses and if we are loading list of expenses, all the expenses, so do you think manager should be visible to watch?
But in this
Hmm.
API only we can put a filter, right? So if admin
Hmm.
logins, we will be able to fetch, like, there will be a role store for a role there, right? Based on the role, is a admin, chalo, give all the overall all the department expenses
Hmm.
show to him. We can put filter in this API only. I mean,
Yes,
so as
yes.
a design wise, so can we like it? Does it depend on like is it better to segregate the APIs manager and admin wise, or keeping in a single one? I mean, does it depend on the traffic that we get, or just as
Because
a
if
simple low level
no, no,
design
no.
is it better?
What? Yeah. So always try to have a common API here, like slash employee slash expenses, right? Then slash API slash expenses slash mine. So what I'm trying to do here, I have a common endpoint slash API slash expenses. Then only I'm trying to make changes. So rather than changing your endpoint, it's better to put some of the logic, controller logic inside your code. Always remember, because what is your system design say? From this example, you should learn the KISS. KISS is going to say keep it simple, stupid. Means like here, keep all the slash API slash expenses or whatever the endpoint you have simple. if you want an explicit check, it's fine. But if you see that you can bifurcate or uh, make changes or divide the particular endpoint or data between manager or admin, do it. But if it's fine, like if you can, and if it is not possible, please try to make change towards your API. So always try to have see check like slash API slash expenses or something can be changed or not. Okay. So if the condition is failing, if multiple SQL is there, then change the endpoint. It's fine. And if you can able to do it, then do it.
But
Okay.
so I mean, see, generally, if if you have API slash expense, API slash mine, or API slash this expenses, this all just simple. If we create just one model, or
Mhm.
one service, for all we can simply get by only one service by putting their explicit conditions and fetching their complete data with the single API only. So now,
Yeah.
so that's why I'm asking, like, as should we segregate as much as possible, because if we do that, right, it's just repetitive code, like
Mm.
just one for extra one condition we are creating one more service. I mean, that's what I was thinking, should we do that? Or
I mean, it totally depends on you, like how you want to segregate the data. So for me, my own perspective says that it's better if we can do the code wise changes so that inside the service class or whoever the particular thing logins with the use of the particular logins, I can make the changes towards admin or manager, right? But someone is saying that yeah, we should make in the segregate towards your endpoint. So again, totally depends on how you think. But the better approach, what is say that no, for this project, what we are doing, we are using at the rate pre-authorized endpoint. Okay, at the rate pre-authorized we are using. I'll tell you what is this pre-authorized. So why our current design is correct slash API slash expenses. So we are grouping by resource, not by the role, first of all. So slash API slash expenses is everything about the expenses. If I say slash API slash AI is for the AI feature, slash API slash auth is for the authentication. So this is the standard REST design at the method level. So if I say at the rate get mapping slash pending has role manager. So manager will, so role check here, not in the URL, correct? So for the get mapping, if I say has role admin. So pre-authorized, we are writing over here. So same resources slash API slash expenses, but different roles. So we are using pre-authorized. You will get to know why are we using pre-authorized. Okay. So, so the thing is the endpoint it will be same for everyone, but if we use at the rate pre-authorized and we set like has or admin has or manager, so when the URL will hit our controller service, then it will completely different for the different role. So completely different data shades per role. Okay, are you getting it?
so I mean, at the low level design wise, we'll have a
Hmm.
completely different controller for each and every
Yes,
API.
exactly. Correct. We
Okay.
will use like this. Okay, again,
Okay.
I'm telling you, we will use like this.
I
At
mean,
the
I
rate,
didn't get this pre-authorized part, but we'll see
I'll
when
tell
we
you.
dig in deep. But when we write the code.
Okay, if I say slash get mapping, okay, get mapping, I was saying slash pending. I wrote a concept like slash pending one. You remember, right? Slash pending. Okay,
Yes.
and it should be accessible by our manager. So what it will do at the rate get mapping and at the rate we will use pre-authorize. This is the beauty of Spring Boot. Okay, pre-authorized, and inside this pre-authorized, I'll say has role. Okay, and then I'll say manager. So right now, if I am a manager and if my session is I logged in as a manager, and if I'm hitting this slash pending and I have this pre-authorized, then only I can continue with all the controller or service whatever I have or the report. Are you getting my point?
Haha.
So so once you log in slash or slash login, that is the perfect thing. You logged in. So either you log in as an employee, as a manager, or as an admin. Whatever the thing, it's fine. But URL you are saying the pre-authorization is going to check that whether you are manager. If yes, go, or else no, you are not allowed. Simple.
Okay.
Okay. So what is happening here? If I say that you are saying that slash API slash manager slash expenses slash pending, okay, role we have in this one. So we have, so if I say redundant, so if you say that we will see, we will check or change the URL. So at that point of time, it is very difficult for us to check, because in URL we set already the pre-authorized, and it is not following the rest form, and it is very harder to maintain. I'll tell you again, like why I'm telling you once we start with the code. Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, and if I go about this, so I forgot it. What was that? Yeah. So get is done. We can have again a good debate on this. That's why I'm marking it like that. And we have again the get. It's very easy now. Slash API slash expenses slash summary, whatever the summary. So yes, summary can be seen by your manager slash your admin. Okay. And the last one is get, and get is like manager summary. So AI will give the plain English summary for your pending queue. So slash API slash AI slash manager summary. So this is very easy. This will be seen by your manager or admin. It totally depends, because admin can watch anything. So we can put on the manager, that is your AI. This will be your thing. So we will using Grok as your free chat for the last two API. So it will auto categorize plus fraud check. This will be a sync. I'll let you know what is async and all when we'll start with this AI. So this is all about your scaffold of this project, and from tomorrow we will draw what we are trying to do, and then we can start with our first class with the code part of this project. Okay, so that's all for today, guys. If anyone have a doubt, you can ask me, or else we can drop off.
I wanted to ask one thing.
Yes, sir.
So in this case, I mean in this project, what new things we are going to learn? Like in
Hmm.
employee management system, we learned about basics of Spring Boot and Spring Security,
Yeah.
right? So what will be the new in this project?
Okay. So if I tell you about from your tech stack, okay. So first thing is we will get to know about finance workflow, like how approval system works. That is fine. Second thing is major thing will be your JPA relationship, JWT security, validation, and how we can use at the rate transactional again. Okay, so major will be your native query or query that we are trying to build it. So you can see the endpoints. The multiple endpoints can have a data redundancy. So we will just see if we are loading the data of mine, or if a manager is loading his data, how the particular employees are loading. So totally it will depends on your JP relationship or your entity. So this we will try to see in this. And business rule, we have this pre-authorized annotation. So how the particular pre-authorized is going to give you a crisp of your Spring Boot. Apart from that, we have smart expense categorization and fraud flagging. Like how with the help of AI we can flag any responses. So those things, like what is async AI call, right? How we can use how AI is going to check the duplicates if there is any transaction, and what is JSON output we are going to get. Prompt template also we are going to see with the context injection. So those are the major things we are going to see in this project.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one more thing, in
Mm.
future, I
Mm.
understood about the tech stack in this project, but in future, are we going to create a project where we will use some messaging queues or
Yes.
GraphQL kind of things?
GraphQL messenger saying that. Okay. So the
Yeah,
last project I am trying. Yes. Last project I am trying. That
yeah.
will be a huge project. That's why I'm trying. Yes.
Okay, and I mean, if we are able to use cloud services also, then that will be a very good project. So we'll cover the whole open stack kind of thing, like
Mhm.
as per the market level, or uh, in in the perspective of product based company, right? So involving messaging queues, cloud services, so will be a good thing in future project.
Yeah, correct, correct.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just see if we can do that or not. Okay, but
Yeah.
yeah, definitely I have this those points, those things in my mind,
Yeah.
and if possible, I'll do it for sure. No, do not worry about that.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So guys, then we can continue tomorrow. I'll let you know about the timings, and then we'll start with our expense approval management system. Okay.
A few one doubt.
Yeah.
So in Java, right? What are
Mhm.
the, like, so we use JPF for only SQL kind of thing, or we can use it similarly for no SQL DBs as well.
Uh, what do you think, Shubham? I want answer from you, Shubham.
Uh we can use NoDB as well, or we can use Postgres. I mean, if we use both databases, then we'll get a good exposure of both side, uh, MongoDB kind of thing, or SQL we already covered, right? And in this project, we are evolving, multiple microservices, I think.
Mhm.
So yeah, so and what I know is microservices can have their own, databases. So in uh, in one of the microservice we can have no SQL database, and other we can have SQL database. So it will be a mix of both.
Okay. So are you satisfied with the answer, Akhil?
No, no. I was asking, like, so we use it
Mhm.
for SQL database, we use JPA repository, right? So for NoSQL also we use the same JPA, like, repository, like where this layer, right? So from service base to we are saving, we use this JPA repository, right, for queries or writing
Uh-huh.
actions. I'm asking for NoSQL also. Do we have something different, or do we use the same JPA repository only?
Okay. So short answer is JPA is SQL only. For NoSQL, we can use a different library. Okay. So JPA does not work for the NoSQL. JPA is built around the relational model like tables, row, column, foreign key, joins, transactions that holds ASIC property. NoSQL database don't have tables. Okay. They
Hmm.
have document like key value pair,
Yes.
graph. So there is no common standard that match across all of them. So JPA does not apply on that.
So for
Okay.
NoSQL, we
Huh.
manually write the queries.
But what you can do, yeah. So what you can do, instead of this, we Spring Data is the umbrella project. So JPA is just one model under it. So we have Data JPA, Data Mongo, Data Redis, Data Cassandra, and Neo4j, Elasticsearch. So each one will give you the same repository pattern you already know, just a different underline.
Okay.
So if you want to use this like MongoDB, so it will look like either entity, table name, expenses, public class expenses, and you can do it. But and for the NoSQL, you can use like at the rate. I think we use at the rate document, right? Document collection equals to expenses, something like this. So
Yes.
you can use it. So you have all the repos, you can just use it. You have the umbrella inside the Spring Boot.
Okay.
Okay, okay, clear.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, guys. Then we can meet tomorrow. Thank you all for joining. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.